Welcome to OnScreen Academic Writing with Steve Marshall. Lesson 11 is on linking words, contrasting, contradicting, restating. In this lesson, you will study linking words for contrasting, contradicting, and restating. More on fast food in schools. Healthy food is seen by many young people as boring. In contrast, eating fast food is seen as cool. Second, healthy food policies in schools have not led to more healthy eating. On the contrary, in some areas, fewer children now eat at school. And the third one, removing unhealthy drinks from school vending machines does not always work. Specifically, students bring drinks from home instead. Let's study the form for these linking words, beginning with contrasting. Let's look at the first two sentences. The English language is spoken all around the world. In contrast, German is spoken mainly in Europe. German spelling is consistent and quite easy. On the other hand, English spelling is confusing. In each sentence, the linking word comes before an independent clause. So the linking words need to be set off by a period and comma or semicolon and comma. And the third example, English is spoken around the world as opposed to German, which is spoken mostly in Europe, or as opposed to German, a mainly European language. The linking word here is set off by two commas. This is because it's followed by a relative clause or a noun phrase. Contradicting, on the contrary, instead, rather. The central bank's interest rate policy failed to control rising house prices. On the contrary, it actually caused a rise. On the contrary gives your reader a contradiction of the previous clause. The meaning here is different to in contrast. Let's look at the next sentences. The bank tried to limit mortgage applications with higher interest rates. Instead, the policy led to an increase in applications. Most house buyers were not deterred by higher interest rates. Rather, they rushed to beat the new policy deadline. Restating, in other words, specifically. Children sometimes copy violence they see on TV. In other words, or specifically, they confuse fantasy and reality. Here we use the semicolon before the independent clause. Children sometimes copy violence they see on TV. In other words, scenes of fighting and killing. Children sometimes copy violence they see on TV. In other words, copying the actions of their heroes. In the first example, there's a comma before the linking words because they're followed by a noun phrase. And in the second one, there's also a comma because they're followed by verb plus ing. For the task, add linking words studied in this lesson to the sentences below. Sometimes more than one answer is possible. Follow the prompts in brackets. Here are the answers. 1. Bad language on TV has become more common today. In contrast, or on the other hand, 30 years ago, there were stricter controls. 2. Some music producers argue that bleeping out swearing protects children. On the contrary, instead, rather, I believe bleeping out swearing makes the songs more attractive to kids. 3. I think kids should be protected from hearing swearing in pop music, specifically, or in other words, vulgar music on daytime radio. Thank you, that's all for now. To see the next video in this series, On-Screen Academic Writing, Lesson 12, Punctuation, Semicolons, please click on the link.